Shalom, Barakatah. This is High Priest called Halal Love the Law, back with another video lesson, giving all praises, honor, power, glory, dominion, majesty, reverence, blessings, worship, love, and admiration to the Most High, Yahweh, and Yahweh only. Double honors, triple honors to Yahweh and Yahweh only. No Bahashem. Understand that? Yeah. The kids love that no Bahashem, right? Yeah. I think I'm going to keep that. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. All right. Now, the title of today's video lesson is Proof Micah 5:2 is not about JC. This is the proof of the truth. I'm the High Priest called Halal. This is YOZ University, the YOZ School. Welcome to class. We about to cut these non-believers up like arts and crafts and edify the lower class to a higher class. Understand that? Yeah, y'all know it's YOZ to the saints are free, you know? And we're here at yet another passage that Christianity and One West Hebrewanity twist and say is about JC, but it's really not. Yes, I know lately it seems like in every video I've been saying this, but I have to say it because you never know who's watching for the first time. One West, where you get all of these Christian camps from, like ISUPK, IUIC, WFI, GMS, So Sorry Sakari, right? They are a branch of Christianity. They are a spinoff of Christianity, a branch off the defiled tree of Christianity. They got their doctrine from Christianity. Yes, Christianity been teaching for centuries that every prophecy in the so-called Old Testament that speaks of a coming Savior is about JC, even though it does not mention JC by name nowhere in the so-called Old Testament, the Torah Tanakh. Right? And One West, they teach the same thing that Christianity teach. And Christianity been teaching this in the Christian church for centuries, right? Right, so One West is Hebrewanity. They're eating the rotten fruit of the defiled tree of Christianity at the same time trying to cut down this defiled tree of Christianity. What sense does that make, man? Right? The Most High God says that most of these Israelites are really stupid. They are some of the dumbest, right? Yes, we speak behind these scriptures. The Most High God says most of these Israelites are really dumb. All right, let's go get that first. Let's go and get that, man. Because it really does not make any sense to be waking up in the 21st century to know who you are as an Israelite and to learn about the Hebrews and the Hebrew culture, and you're learning from ancient Greek sources, right? You're learning from ancient Greek sources about the Hebrew people and the Hebrew God. What sense does that make? But yet, most Israelites are some of the dumbest people. Yes, the Edomites are the most wicked and the most evil, but the Israelites are amongst the most dumbest people on the face of the earth. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people does not consider. You don't even consider. Like I was talking to this one Israelite, I'm telling them, yo, JC is a fictional character originally written in Greek. It's Greek mythology. And I'm showing them that in the Torah, the Most High God prophesied that the Israelites will forsake him for new gods that arise newly up and put it together. The New Testament exalting a new God that our forefathers never knew. JC, right? And he's just like staring at me like, ooga booga. I'm like, nigga, wait, I'm gonna take my chances. What? Israel does not even consider. You don't even consider. You don't even want to search out the matter. And this is what you bet your soul on. You're betting your soul on this. Look, the Most High God says two of the most dumbest animals on the face of the earth are smarter than most of these Israelites. The ox knoweth his owner, and the donkey knows his master's crib, but you don't know who you belong to. You don't know what's required of you, right? You're like cattle. I mean, you have eyes. I can see you looking at me, but you can't perceive. You don't have no understanding. And the scripture says, in all your gettings, get understanding. Right? What sense does it make? What nation does that? Right? In the Hebrew Israelite Constitution, you got your Constitution partly in your native language, Hebrew, and then partially in the language of another nation. What sense does that make? And then the Constitution that's partly in the language of another nation, it overrides the Constitution in your native language. And you're okay with that. That's like China having a constitution that's partly in Chinese and partly in English. Like, what? Or America having its constitution partly in English and then partly in Chinese. No other nation would stand for that or go for that. But you Israelites, you're okay with it. Having your constitution partly in Hebrew in your native language and then partly in Greek, the language of your arch enemies, the Greeks, the Edomites. But these dumb Negroes, these Hebrew Israelites, say they hate Esau, Edom so much, and they preach not to trust your enemies, yet you're betting your soul on writings that was originally written in the language of your enemy nation. Wow. That's pretty dumb right there, right? So let's get off into it, man. Micah 5:2 is not about JC. Let's get right off into it, man. Let's go back. Micah 5:2. But thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth has been from of old, from everlasting. Oh no. Oh, who could that be about? No one other than JC. Like, come on, man. Right? All the remnant was with the Most High from everlasting. And let's go and prove that. Let's go to Jeremiah 1:5. Jeremiah 1:5. Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Whoa. Now, some people will just read right over that, but listen, pay attention to what the Most High God is telling you. He's talking to Jeremiah, right? One of the prophets. So this is about all the prophets, all his prophets, all of his special priests, all of his special people that he gave the understanding of his word to, right? Jeremiah 1:5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. So before he was living on earth, before he was living in his mother's stomach, he knew the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah had to be existing before he was in his mother's stomach, because you can't just know a nothing. You can't just know a nothing. You can't just know something that do not exist. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. So the prophets was with the Most High God from everlasting, right? His special people, his remnant. The Most High God knows who are his. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Some he ordained prophets, some he ordained priests, right? Some he ordained kings, princes, right? So that's being from everlasting. Like, right? Now, going back to Micah 5:2, this is not all the prophecy. This is just part of the prophecy that, this Messiah is going to be coming out of Bethlehem, right? And he is to be a ruler in Israel, okay? This is not about JC, but this is not all the prophecy. It goes down to verse 6, speaking about the things that this Messiah will be doing, okay? So we're going to go through all of that. But yet, like I told you guys, the New Testament was originally written in Greek. It's deception. It was written by the Edomite Greek Romans to deceive the children of Israel into idolatry with replacement theology and to infiltrate the priesthood, to take over the priesthood, the profitable priesthood, right? For selfish gain. Now you got these Roman Catholic priests receiving the tithes off of the word of the Most High God that he ordained only the Israelites to teach, right? Yeah. What brought in that? The New Testament. The New Testament is Christianity. Christianity has a book. They're not pulling that stuff from thin air. Right? So we got a video lesson about that. If you're not subscribed to the original channel, Calvin Israel, go subscribe. We got a bunch of video lessons over there. Right? And if you are subscribed to this channel, hit the like button, share the video, and also double back, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to get all the notifications. All right? Yeah. All right. So, like I was saying, the New Testament, it speaks out of both sides of its mouth. It uses a crooked writing and speaking tactic called double speak. They give you a little truth and a whole lot of error. They mix truth with error to deceive you and to suppress the truth and to bring in, their crooked objectives and their crooked narratives, right? And their evil, nefarious plans, right? So you got JC written up to be from Bethlehem, but he's also written up to be from Nazareth. So which one is it? What town in Israel is he from? Is he from Bethlehem or is he from Nazareth? Because it says that he's from Nazareth more than anything, right? He was born in Bethlehem. It says that, but it says he was brought up in Nazareth, and he himself claimed to be from Nazareth, right? Because he says when he went to the town of Nazareth, they didn't respect him. He was like, well, a prophet does not get honor in his own hometown, right? So let's go and get that, He's from Nazareth, The New Testament speaks out of both sides of his mouth. This is Luke 4:16. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up to read. Right, so he's from Nazareth, right? And then we can go to John 1:45. John chapter 1, verse 45. Philip findeth Nathanael and said unto him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, JC of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. That's a lie. Moses never wrote about no one coming from Nazareth. The prophets, and there you have it, plural, none of them wrote about anyone coming from Nazareth, right? So you go here to Matthew 2:23, and we're going to see where plagiarism goes wrong. They made a big error because this is written by heathens that do not know the scriptures. You would think if this was written by Israelites, they're writing about the greatest man to ever walk the earth. You would think that they would know the scriptures, right? But they write a bunch of errors like this. Matthew chapter 2, verse 23. And he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets, plural. So like more than one prophet wrote about this. He shall be called a Nazarene. But if you look this up, no prophet has ever written about anyone that is coming from Nazareth. This is not written in the prophets. Nowhere will you find anyone that wrote, "He shall be called a Nazarene." So what is Matthew saying here? Right? You can look this up yourself. You can even Google it. Like, what prophet wrote, "He shall be called a Nazarene," that Matthew quoted, or around those lines, and what you will find is that it's nowhere to be found. This is an error, right? There's many errors like this because they don't know our scriptures, right? So let's go back to Micah. Micah 5:2. It says, "But thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel." A ruler, so that means a king, "whose going forth have been from of old, from everlasting." Now we know that JC didn't want to be a king. John 6:15, he ran and hid himself in the mountains when the people was trying to make him to be king over them by force. He didn't want to be king. He stood in front of Pilate and said that this kingdom is not of his world, right? But even if he's still king, even though he has all the authority in the heavens and the earth, and he said that this kingdom is not his kingdom. This kingdom is not his. His kingdom is not of this earth, right? But let's just say, well, he has no choice, He's in the lineage of the kings. He's the son of David, He said that when he was angry, he didn't really mean it. He lied. Okay, let's just say that. Let's look up the lineage of JC. Does he really qualify to be the king of Israel? Do he qualify to be ruler in Israel, thus fulfilling this prophecy? Let's go and see. Let's go and check out his lineage, okay? Right, so let's go to Matthew. We're going to go to Matthew 1, and we're going to start at verse 12. And we're going to check out the lineage of JC. Okay, Matthew chapter 1, verse 12. "And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salal, and Salal begat Zerubbabel." Okay, so according to the Gospel of Matthew, JC descends from the cursed king Jeconiah. All right, as you see it right there. "And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salal, and Salal begat Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begat Abud, and Abud begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor, and Azor begat Zadok, and Zadok begat Achim, and Achim begat Elud, and Elud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born JC, who is called Christ. Right? And it all stems from the cursed king, Jeconiah. Right? Go back to 12. Let's go back to 12. Back to 12 to prove it, right? Salakia. Let's get back. Let's go to Matthew 1:12. This is the lineage of JC. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salel, and Salel begat Zerubbabel. So JC, he descends from the cursed king, Jeconiah. Okay, so now let's go and see where Jeconiah and his seed was cursed to never rule in Israel again. Okay, and JC is the seed of Jeconiah. Right? 28. Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 28. Is this man Coniah? That's Jeconiah, right? That's how they translate it in the Greek. You know, the Greek in Matthew. Matthew was originally written in Greek. It translates Coniah, you know, in the Greek into English as Jeconiah, right? Is this man, Coniah, a despised, broken idol? Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not? Right, from the top. Is this man, Coniah, right? Jeconiah, which JC descends from. Is this man, Coniah, a despised, broken idol? And everyone can look this up. It's not nothing that I'm making up. I mean, this is the man that JC was said to descend from, right? Go ahead, do your own research. This is truth. This is true what I'm bringing to you, right? Is this man, Coniah, a despised, broken idol? Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not? Right? O earth, 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 hear the word of Yahweh. So Yahweh really wants you to hear this because he knows what the future holds and that he's going to make these Edomite Greek Romans make an error in their writings and leak their fictional character to this man. So hear, earth, earth, earth. He really wants you to hear this. Because what he say? Hear. He says, oh, earth, earth, earth. Hear the word of Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh. This is what the Most High God says, the Creator. This is what he says. Write ye, this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days. For no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David and ruling any more in Judah. Woo! And this is the man that the book of Matthew says JC descends from. JC is disqualified from ever being king in Judah, in Israel. In JC's time that they wrote him in, it was only Judah. So he cannot be king in the kingdom of Judah. He can't be king. He can't sit on the throne of David. That's where y'all say he's sitting on, right? He can't. So Micah 5:2 is not about him. He descends from Caniah, which Matthew is translated as Jeconiah, right? So how is Micah 5:2 about him? He can't even rule in Israel. Because Micah 5:2 says, but thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel. JC can't be ruler in Israel because he comes from a cursed line from Caniah, right? And now let's go to, because you got to fulfill the whole prophecy. Let's read on. Therefore will he give them up until the time that she which travaileth has brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel. And he shall stand and feed in the strength of Yahweh, in the majesty of the name of Yahweh his God, and they shall abide. For now shall he be great unto the ends of the earth. And this man shall be the peace when the Assyrians shall come into our land, and when he shall tread in our palaces, then shall we raise against him 7 shepherds and 8 principal men. So this Messiah that's being prophesied here, he's going to protect the Israelites from the Assyrians, right? JC never did that. Where is that written about JC, right? And they shall waste the land of Assyria with the sword, and the land of Nimrod and the entrance thereof. Thus shall he deliver us from the Assyrians. So where was that written about JC? Where? Show me in the gospel where JC delivered Israel from the Assyrians. It says it right here. This is what the Messiah will do. Thus shall he deliver us from the Assyrians when he cometh into our land. We're not in the land of Israel, so this is not speaking about his second coming. So how is this about JC? Even though the Torah Tanakh doesn't speak about a second coming of a Messiah, that first he died for your sins and then he's coming again a second time to save you. It doesn't speak about that. But if you want to just insert this false doctrine, in Israel, it's not speaking about that either, because he says right here, Micah says, thus shall he deliver us from the Assyrian when he cometh into our land. We're not in our land right now. So if he's coming a second time to fulfill this prophecy, He's going to be coming to the land of our enemies, because that's where we're at right now, right? And we're definitely not in captivity under the Assyrians right now. We're in captivity under the Edomites right now. Like, right? And I'm speaking to the Hebrew Israelites. I'm speaking to those that know that they're Hebrew Israelites. I more so speak to the Christian lights, those that are in the One West Christian camp, those that graduated from Christianity, right? Because some coons in Christianity, they would say that JC is God, and it doesn't matter if he descends from Kanaya, you know, he, he, he was born with spirit and egg, not sperm and egg, you know. So I'm speaking to the One West Christian lights, and they have the understanding and the doctrine that JC is literally Joseph's son, his biological son. And if JC is literally Joseph's son, and Joseph descends from Kanaya, then JC is disqualified from being a king in Israel. He's disqualified from being the Messiah. He is disqualified from sitting on the throne of David. Thus says Yahweh. Okay? So you have to repent. You have to come up out of this, right? And JC never did this. You leave out this half of the prophecy where this Messiah will defend and deliver Israel from the Assyrians. Well, who did this? Well, if Micah 5:2, if Micah 5 is not about JC, who is it about? Well, who did this? Who delivered us from the Assyrians? Right? King Hezekiah did this. Right? King Hezekiah did it. Let's go. Let's go and get it. The Most High God did it for King Hezekiah. Let's go to Isaiah 37. Because we already established that the Most High God special remnant was with him before the world was, from of old, from everlasting, right? Jeremiah 1:5. So let's get this. Isaiah 37:15. And Hezekiah prayed unto Yahweh, saying, O Yahweh of hosts, God of Israel, that dwelleth between the cherubims, thou art the God, even thou alone. This is the understanding of the righteous remnant. See, this is what it sounds like when you were with the Most High God before the world was, from everlasting. You know the Most High. A lot of you know of the Most High, but y'all don't really know the Most High. You got to get to know the Most High God. And that's something to boast about, right? The Most High God says, let not the rich man boast in his riches. Let not the mighty man boast in his strength, but let every man boast in this, that they know the Most High God. So if I got an arrogant, cocky swagger when I teach, hey, yo, it's permittable, right? Yeah, I'm boasting and I feel good and I'm proud. with righteous pride that I know the Most High God, right? I'm flexing that. Yeah, that's right, right? And King Hezekiah, he knows, he says it. Thou art the God, even thou alone. There's only one God, right? Of all the kingdoms of the earth, thou hast made heaven and earth. It says thou. Thou, you have made heaven and earth, not y'all. You, thou has made heaven and earth. Yeah, man, you're getting a lesson within a lesson. Incline thine ear, O Yahweh, and hear. Open thine eyes, O Yahweh, and see and hear all the words of Sennacherib, Sennacherib, which has sent to reproach the living God of a truth, Yahweh. The kings of Assyria have laid waste all the nations and their countries, and has cast their gods into the fire, for they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore, they have destroyed them. And JC is an invisible idol. So if you just throw his image in the fire, this image that the camps post up with on the street corners, you just throw that in the fire and throw the New Testament in the fire, you know, that's all he is. He's gone. You got to erase him out of your mind, though. You got an evil imagination. The Most High God calls it an evil imagination. You're imagining, JC, from what you read about a fictional character in Greek. Now, therefore, O Yahweh, our God, save us from his hand in Assyria. Because Assyria is on one right now. That all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art Yahweh, even thou alone, that you are he that exists. Because that's what Yahweh means. That you are he that exists, even you alone. So there's no other gods that exist, right? So that includes demigods, half man, half God. That includes JC, man. Right? And here's Yahweh only. It says, even thou only. Yeah, man. Serve the Most High God Yahweh only by keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. Understand that, right? Then Isaiah, the son of Amos, sent unto Hezekiah, saying, thus says Yahweh, God of Israel, whereas thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria. This is the word which Yahweh has spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, has despised thee and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem has shaken her head at thee. Whom hast thou reproached and blasphemed? And against whom hast thou exalted thy voice and lifted up thy eyes on high, even against the Holy One of Israel? By thy servants hast thou reproached the Lord, and hast said, by the multitude of my chariots am I come up to the height of the mountains, to the side of Lebanon, and I will cut down the tall cedars thereof, and the choice fir trees thereof. And I will enter into the height of his border, and the forest of his Carmel. I have digged and drunk water, and with the sole of my feet have I dried up all the rivers of the besieged places. Hast thou not heard long ago how I have done it, and of ancient times that I have formed it? Now have I brought it to pass that thou shouldest be to lay waste defense cities into ruinous heaps. Therefore, their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field, and as the green herb, as the grass on the housetops, and as corn blasted before it be grown up. But I know thy abode, and thy going out, and thy coming in, and thy rage against me. Because thy rage against me and thy tumult is come up into my ears, therefore will I put my hook in thy nose, and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way by which thou camest. And this shall be a sign unto thee: ye shall eat this year such as groweth of itself, in the second year that which springeth of the same, and in the third year sow ye and reap, and plant vineyards and eat the fruit thereof. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escaped out of Mount Zion, the zeal of Yahweh of hosts shall do this. Therefore, thus says Yahweh concerning the king of Assyria: he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shields, nor cast a bank against it. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into this city, says Yahweh. For I will defend this city to save it for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. King Hezekiah, he comes from David. That comes from Bethlehem, right? That's the hometown of the kings, Bethlehem. Then the angel of Yahweh went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpse. Hey, yo, yeah, look at that. Yeah. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. So there you have it. Yeah. So he turned away from Israel. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. So it was because of King Hezekiah, his prayer to the Most High God. And because King Hezekiah was righteous and he served the Most High God, Yahweh only. You see how he said that in his prayer: you are God only. The Most High God heard him and he defended Israel. Because when the king is doing righteous and the king is influencing righteousness on the children of Israel to serve the Most High God, Yahweh, only to keep his commandments. The Most High God defends Israel, right? When the king is teaching to serve the Most High God, Yahweh only, right? Micah 5:2 is about King Hezekiah. And for those who don't really know the time frames and all of that, and you would say, well, Micah was way after Isaiah. How is it about Hezekiah and Micah is after Isaiah? Just because the book of Micah comes after Isaiah, people will want to pretend like they know something. Let's go. All right, let's go to Micah. We gotta go to Micah 1. Go to Micah 1 verse 1. Micah chapter 1 verse 1. The word of Yahweh that came to Micah, the Morthite, in the days of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. So the word came in the times of these kings, right? So Micah was the time of Hezekiah, before Hezekiah, and during Hezekiah's time, right? The word of Yahweh that came to Micah, the Morthite, in the days of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, which he saw concerning Samaria and Jerusalem. All right, so Micah 5:2 is not about JC. JC is disqualified. We always go to the New Testament to cut the New Testament. According to the Gospel of Matthew, JC descends from the cursed king, Coniah. Coniah and his seed was cursed to never rule in Israel ever again. Right? So I know that was edifying. All praises be to the Most High God, Yahweh God.